Namaste beautiful yogis, and I'm back with the question and answer. I'm going to try. I haven't written down the questions, and again they're all over the place, so I don't have one place to go and read them, but let's post. I will post this video within the beautiful yogis group, and I will pin it to the top of the page for the rest of the week because it's our challenge for the week. And let's pose the questions, or if there is any questions. I think this is a pretty simple detox. It's nothing that we all have to. It's not like this real strict type of thing where we're all gonna do the same thing, because obviously we can't do that. We are in a different place at the moment, all of us. So we're going to do the best we can do, even if it's a tiny minor little thing. If you replace your eggs in the morning, omelette in the morning, with fresh seasonal fruits and vegetables, you've done quite a bit. So that could be your level. Someone else could take this very seriously and just do green juices all day and all night. Say a few 64-ounce juices: cucumber, celery, green spinach, black kale, carrot, ginger, turmeric even, all of those types of juices, and that could be your meals for the day. And you just allow your body to rest, saturate it with good nutrition, and allow your body to heal from whatever is going on, or just rejuvenate. We all need a little bit of a little tune-up every so often, so that we can be our best, the best version of ourselves. So I just made something and I will show it to you. I photographed it, and I may post the photos if I remember. These are the ingredients, and they are pretty. I put half a quince in this particular smoothie. I put almost a whole banana, big banana, very ripe, and I put 2 celery sticks, just like these ones, and then I put some vanilla stevia and a touch of coconut milk and a few chia seeds or sweet basil seeds, just because I have those and I love them. And I've been loving the cardamom. Ooh, pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just this magical little, really potent little pot. And my beloved vanilla stevia that leaks all over my counter, so I'm keeping it for right now here, so at least I'm saving it on my cardamom, but I really lost most of it to packaging. So the questions, I just saw Anne's questions, so I will start with her question quickly, and then I'll answer a couple more questions, and I'll leave it at that. I think the detox is pretty simple, and we're just adding fresh fruits and vegetables in blended form in juices or in whole form in salads, leaving the fats out of the diet as much as possible, especially refined fats. You can add a touch of hazelnut milk. You can add, just don't have for breakfast just fat. This is not detoxing. Is coconut milk healthy? By all means, it's healthy. Or flax milk is healthy. When you detox, you really want to go to strip down to basics, which is fruits and vegetable juices can do a good job in certain circumstances. So, but for serious diseases, you have to go hardcore, and that will be fruit. All right, so Anne's question is, yes, my Thanksgiving was beautiful, and but it was a surprise Thanksgiving. I was hoping to spend it in Santa Cruz, which is this is my dream town. But I had to stay around for family reasons, and it was fun. But I didn't get out of town, so I have something to look forward to. Alright, so I'm staying at my family's this weekend, so little out of my usual element. What do you think about teas, whole fruits, maybe smoothies during the day, and a big salad at night for our detox? My goal is to also remove coffee for a week and just allow my body to reset without the coffee. That is a great idea, but just be careful that if you remove the coffee, you might be having a headache for 3 or 4 days, so it might kind of ruin your holiday. So maybe replace it with green tea, so that you will have you probably won't get the caffeine withdrawals. Yeah, that is a pretty good plan. Smoothies, that is very similar to what I'll be doing. I'll be doing either juices or smoothies during the day and fresh fruits at night, or a salad is okay as well, as long as you don't load up on the goat cheese and tofu and all the other things. Just try to keep things simple. I personally will not do the dips. Nothing is wrong with my dips, but I want to minimize the amount of ingredients I'm using and keep it sattvic. So no onions, no garlic. The few spices I will use are gonna be the pure sattvic spices, such as cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and I will keep it down to a minimum, less spicy stuff, less, just because sometimes we don't realize how that we might be actually reacting, or we might be allergic to certain foods. So it's good to go back to bare minimum, to very basic bland diet. Actually, a while ago, I can't remember which book that was in, unfortunately, because it was interesting. A while ago, I read in some I'll have to say it was probably something that had to do with traditional diets and so forth. I read that in some South American tribes, they raised the kids for the first 7 years on a really bland diet, and they just feed them, I want to say, millet and yucca root or something of the kind, without anything added to it, like maybe potatoes and something like this, just basic starches. And I was telling this to someone a while ago, and they said, oh my god, this is so sad, why would they do something like this to their kid? Well, no, it's actually the opposite. They want the child to develop a really sensitive palate, and once you're sensitive to flavors and tastes, you can actually have a much better experience with food and with natural food, because you're able to taste nuances. When I have certain meals with some of my friends, I've noticed that I taste a lot more out of my food than they do, because sometimes I would just be fainting around an apple and they're like, yeah, it's good. So a bland diet can actually help you develop a more sophisticated palate, actually. So that is why they do that. So they don't want to raise picky eaters, people that just want a burger, or like if it's not their typical mustard, if it's Dijon, it will throw them off. And I have done that, and it's a pretty good experience. Every so often I have the need to drop the spices, drop the hot peppers, drop the smoked chipotle that I so much love. In general, I don't have a lot of onions anyways, and garlic only if I feel like I should. So when I travel and I'm exposed to viruses. So when you drop all of this and you just have, for example, millet porridge, I love millet, or just potatoes with minimum salt, no salt, and just no spices, or a little bit of, like, say, cinnamon or coriander or something like this, or parsley. It really helps you actually. It can help your mind to be a little more focused and centered, and it's a good kind of detox from complex foods. Simple foods are a good idea on a detox. So this was a really long answer, but yeah, keep the salads just make a dressing, like for example for your salads, make a papaya or a mango cilantro dressing or tomato cilantro dressing or something like this. Keep it, you can make it big and you can add a lot of like mango to it or something like this, and leaves and lettuce and celery and all of that. And I think that would be a serious detox. And the smoothies also, I will be doing this type of smoothies, so those are pretty detoxing. It's pretty much fruit and a little bit of celery for the most part. Was there another thing I will add this week, and I will continue it for a month, is herbs. So this is totally optional, and I'm gonna do it because I do have the herbs, and I will show you my herbs. They're pretty awesome. I have a big collection, so I made a few bottles. Actually, let me bring them. Okay, so I made this is a formula that is supportive of your kidneys and lymph. So I mixed two formulas in one. I will try to post the ingredients that are going into this formula. They're pretty basic European herb ingredients. As opposed to Chinese herbs, those are very much in Western herbalism ingredients. Supportive of kidney herbs that will flush the lymph system, because that's how we detox. If your kidneys are not filtering and your lymph system is not functioning properly, then you cannot detox properly. So you want to support your kidneys into filtering properly so that you're functioning properly. Of course, then your skin will be in better shape and everything will be in better shape. And another thing I'm taking now, I just found it in my herbs and I've forgotten about it. It's VITEX chasteberry, and a lot of you have been asking me about a female herb that is for hormonal balancing. This one is an excellent herb because it will balance you each and every way. If you are estrogen dominant, it will balance you. It will rebalance your hormones. And if you have lack of progesterone, it will balance your hormones. So I'm taking that, and I will be increasing my kidney and lymph formula slowly because it's extremely powerful. And the side effects can be nasty, and I'm not exaggerating. They can be very nasty if you go very quick into detox. Why do we need to detox, and why do we need to take hormone balancing herbs? We're all exposed to plasticides. We all buy frozen food. We all have food that comes in plastic, especially if you drink from plastic bottles. Those are really hard on the system. When I travel, I have to drink from plastic bottles, but when I'm at home, I have a filter, and I keep everything in jars and recycled jars, like this one, and bottles. If I buy San Pellegrino or one of those glass bottle waters, then I would use the bottle for my water. And I always have an excess of jars and bottles, so there is no problem in glass, or you can get stainless steel, but just avoid plastic. Another thing that mimics estrogen in the system is pesticides, not only the ones that you consume with your food, but also the ones that might be in your area if you live in an area where there is heavy agriculture. So we all need to detox. If you consume meat, dairy, animal products, then you are actually ingesting even more animal hormones into your system, so that can throw you off on top of it. When I dropped the excess fats of my diet, I used to love macadamias and avocados and even yogurt and things like this. When I dropped the added fats from my diet, and I just went to the most basic food I could go to, the simplest food I could go to, and actually more delicious as a result. My periods balanced out so well that they were just on a full moon. It was pretty interesting. Now when I travel and fly, I still get thrown off, so I'm still achieving perfect balance, and I will probably be achieving it till for as long as I'm around, sticking around on Earth. But the thing is, we are constantly improving our health, and we're on a constant journey of improving our health. We're never there, and I will always be healing, and we'll be always on this path. It's just the main point is for us to always be feeling good when we're on this path, and if we hit a bump on the way, that's okay. We continue. It's fine. And I don't know. Let me see if there was another question. Okay, so my computer is being pretty slow, so I can't even access most of my questions. There is one more question that is a few Anne and Nikki asked it, and it's a good question. What do you think about dates during the detox? It depends again. Whenever I do date or banana detoxes, they're not gonna flush any heavy toxins out of your system as much as apples and teas and herbs will, and to some degree juices. They're more when you're feeling pretty good and you just want to kind of refresh your system and give it a little bit of a break. So they're excellent, but they're not heavyweight detox items. If you have one date, it's not gonna, it's not that big a deal. If you're water fasting, then you can't have a single date for the day because you broke the fast and now you're under eating. But if you are just doing what we're doing, I'm pretty much getting my calories for the day, except for I've dropped all the complexities out of my diet and I'm keeping it simple, and I'm not gonna be cooking squashes and stuff at night. I'll just keep it raw, and I will just keep it at fruits and veggies and lots of celery. And if I buy tomorrow some lettuce, there will be lettuce and even beet juice. Ginger juice. So it depends again on your goal. You can use dates. Yes, I'm the date queen, and of course you can feel great on dates. But if you are really wanting to do some major cleaning and repairing, then go for juicy. Go for subacid. Go for juicy fruits. If you're still eating at night your typical food, try to keep it a little lower fat, and during the day add a few green juices. Why lower fat? You don't, for two reasons. You don't want to mix high sugar and high fat fruits. That's why the people that are eating low carb diets are moderately at best successful, because they're keeping the sugar low and the fat high. You can't have high fat and high sugar. That is a recipe for candida and fungal overgrowth and digestive troubles, bloating and all of that. So you could be relatively feeling okay. Maybe I can't guarantee you that you'll be able to keep up with any type of serious training on a super low carb diet, and I can't tell you how your body will feel with all that acid. But it's people seem to maintain it for a while, this type of diet, because they're avoiding sugar, which is a super painful experience because your body needs carbs. I don't know any type of traditional people that did not eat carbs. People have forgotten that we are meant to digest carbs, and we run on carbs, and generations of traditional people all over the world, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, have exclusively eaten carbs, such as rye in Northern Europe, wheat in Eastern Europe, potatoes in Central Europe and in Eastern Europe and in Northern Europe, millet in Africa, yucca root in the islands, sweet potatoes, tapioca, all of those in South America and the islands, Jamaica. Rice, of course, how can I forget? Rice all over Asia, Iran, China, Japan. There was pretty much no diabetes in those countries. Japan actually had an 80-10-10 type of diet up until recently. Recently they started eating a little more fat, and they have a little higher rate of obesity nowadays due to adding a lot of dairy and more fat into their diets and more meat and all of that comes with our modern societies. But overall, just remind yourself that we are have been eating rice, and the reason why fruit is so good for you is outside of the nutritional properties and all of that, is because we are naturally equipped to deal with fruit. If you think about it, if you are out without any modern amenities and you're walking around and you see a rabbit or even a slow animal, whatever, running around, your mouth will not water at the sight of an animal. But a dog's or a wolf's mouth would water. They're naturally geared towards this, towards eating animals. And even dogs are not a good example because they're omnivores. But say a lion, his mouth would water, and he has all the tools within his body to actually get his food. You will actually, your mouth will water if you see ripe fruit. It's the color is meant to seduce you, the aroma is meant to seduce you, the flavor is meant to seduce you, and usually it's pretty easy to harvest and eat with whatever Mother Nature has given you. Your teeth and your digestive system can process it. You don't even need fire. For most fruits, you don't need some crazy equipment such as hammers and tools and all of that. So we are naturally meant to, and the no harming is actually a beautiful side effect of fruit eating, because we, when you think about vegetables for the hardcore vegans, you destroy the entire plant when you eat a kale, or kale is the entire plant, cabbage is the entire plant. Okay, cucumber is a fruit, so you're just harvesting the fruit. When you harvest fruit, when you harvest apples, the apple tree wants you to do that, so it can continue spreading its seed. It wants you to eat the fruit and toss the seeds, so it can replant itself. And that is the nature, the tree plan for its own self, and you're just assisting it in its plan. It wants you to pick the fruit. So there is absolutely no karma in fruit eating, so you can eat it with total pleasure and know that this is the food that is naturally designed for us. All the rest, we know starches are controversial. We can do very well on starches because they're carbohydrates, but fruits and vegetables are the absolute most nutritious thing you can do. And I think I'm going to wrap it up with that. I will just maybe quickly show you my Herbal collection, and I'll see you very soon. Actually, if you have questions, post it under this video or in the Beautiful Yogis. And only in two places post the questions so that I don't forget to answer them. If you have questions about the herbs, that we can go a little deeper in. And I will continue with the herbs probably for a month. So even after I'm done with the diet detox, I will continue with the herbs. So I'll show you my herbs, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so I'll quickly show you my herbal, probably even much less than half of my herbal preparations. And I'll just show you some of them. This, for example, is, and you have to label everything properly when you make herbs, because you will forget what's what. They all become the same brown liquid. So I have these huge jars. This is my hand, so the jar is huge. I have this kidney formula. This is actually after Dr. Morse's formula. Then I have all kinds of single herbs like chaparral, horsetail. This is a very cool one, which is supportive of bones. Parsley. Everything is kind of stained because when I pour out, generally this stuff tends to leak. So this is parsley, dandelion, burdock, horsetail, ostro, chaparral, nettle in vinegar. So it's actually a better way to extract these particular herbs for the bones. And my formulas are really strong. Everything is organic, and it's in vodka. So that, which is the best way to extract herbs. Here we have olive leaf, which is antiviral, antibacterial. That is something I picked locally, albizia, which is the happy herb. We have other ones of the red puff powder. We have cedar tip, which is good for upper respiratory. Black walnut, which is the best ever antifungal. We have a ton of usnea, like a lot of usnea, and this is a flower essence from my backyard, which I made on as you can tell, on June 3rd, going towards June 4th in 2012 on full eclipse. It is 50% alcohol and the mother tincture. The mother tincture of the, and it's funny, yes, patron. The mother tincture 50-50 and 50 alcohol to preserve the mother tincture. It's a flower essence, so it will in some way affect us on emotional level more so on a physical level. That's how flower essences work. And this one is particularly interesting because it's from my backyard where I do yoga, so I haven't taken it for a long time, so I'm curious to see what happens. And I seem to have a supply for an army, and you only take a few drops a day. So palmetto, that is great for prostate. There we have Siberian ginseng in the back, which is for energy and adaptogenic. This is a lymph formula with probably 5 or 6 or 7 herbs. This is a particular type of echinacea root, and it's very, very interesting tasting, and it's much better for your immune system than the common echinacea. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And oh, here we have bloodroot. I'll leave it at that, and I'll talk to you soon.